Hi everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the very good interesting topic. So I'm making this video for who is newly learning this Oracle Fusion Financial Clouds application, and also it may be helpful for the who is working and who has experience more than 2 to 5 years or greater than that as well as. So absolutely this making this video the specific scenarios, and maybe it will be helpful for the audience and IT professionals also who is working on the Oracle Fusion Financials as well. Yeah. So let's get into the topic. So what I'm going to do here, yes, I'm trying to comparing between Fusion Payables and Fusion Receivables. So what are the activities or what are the transactions will be part of accounts payable and as well as accounts receivables. As you can see on the screen, see when you talk about the accounts payables and receivables, accounts payables always will talk about the suppliers, and accounts receivables will talk about your customer activities. So let's discuss a couple of activities in day in day, what the business or clients business users are performing on the daily basis. So invoices. So this is the event, and under that we can see standard invoice and debit memo, credit memo, and prepayment, so on. Let's say example, we have another thing also where we have the multiple types expense, uh, I mean to say expense invoice and interest invoice, so on. And similarly, in the receivable side, we have transactions. We should call it as a transactions. Under the transactions, you can see invoices, debit memo, credit memo, and deposits, so on. And coming to suppliers. So suppliers will be playing a key role in the Fusion accounts payable model, whereas the procurement team will place a purchase order by selecting the specific supplier in the Fusion application. The specific supplier will be sending the goods to our warehouses along with the invoice copies, what we ordered, and order in the sense the purchase orders, what we ordered, and what is the quantity and price at the time of you create a purchase order. They will check and provide the or deliver the goods to our warehouse. So here the TCA kind of like an architecture. When you see the suppliers, supplier address and site assignment. So this is the hierarchy we'll follow in the Fusion application while we importing or create create suppliers manually as well as. And there is another term called as a MDM. MDM. MDM is nothing but as a master data management, where this application will be handling by the internal support team. Let's say example, who is dealing the supplier related activities and the real time. Similarly, customers. When you see the customer, the same again is a vice versa. MDM team also can maintain the data, or the client can have the different source application also, where they can, let's say example, Flipkart. Flipkart is the one of the app where we can log in through mobile. Your iPhones are a lot of the phones we are using it. And that when you place an order by using your Flipkart app in the mobile, ideally we used to provide the basic information of the customer detail. Example, customer name, customer number, customer contact details, and address details, PIN code area, and then payment methods, and etc. Right? So these are the basic information which we have. At the time of placing order, after you make a place, like let's say example, you want to check out. When you do the checkout, you can see the payment method, which payment method the customer wish to make a payment by selecting the multiple options which Flipkart platform is available and to provide the customers, right? So here, another payment method we can choose, either it is a COD, cash on delivery, or net banking, and other platforms also, online platforms. Let's say example, Google Pay, PhonePe, and Paytm, etc. Right? So these are the things will comes under the customer related information, right? So here the customer is the first one where you can go and create it, the organization name, and Oracle system will provide the unique number for the customers and the account. Each customer should have one account. This one account should associate with the your specific site and assignment to your business units. When you assign the business unit to the customer will represent the specific business unit only. When you perform any activity, that will be represent under the specific business unit which we performed here, right? So here, site is the most powerful action point of view. When you create any invoice, we can give it. Sorry, I want to mention one more point. When I say customer creation, I mean to say when you place an order in the Flipkart app, right? So we can use address nothing but as bill to and ship to customer details. Those things will come under the Oracle terminology. Okay. And when you create a site is more powerful in the Python application because one customer can have the multiple sites. Let's say example, Flipkart. Flipkart, like we can have the multiple areas, right? Across India or across India. So wherever you are. So that's why we can choose at the time of creation of the transaction by selecting this customer. The customer may have more than 2 or 3 or 4 also. At the time of creating transaction, we can choose which is the shipping and billing as well as. So here, when you compare with the accounts payable versus receivables, here you can call it as a suppliers and here you will say customer. That is only the difference. When you make a, I mean to say when you deliver the goods to your client, that comes under the suppliers. And when you receive the collection from the customers, it is coming, I mean to say it is coming from the customers, right? Where it is as a customer thinks we are doing it here. And as I mentioned here, creation. So when you create the both the ways, the customers or your transactions, which I mentioned above, anything can be, we have two different options. One is that manual, secondly, import. When you say import terminology in the Python application, is a more of the related to technical activities, and it is called as a inbound integration. Okay, when you say manual, the business user can go and create a invoices by using user UI in the sense user interface and the screen of the invoice window. Similarly, the receivables, manual and import, it is also kind of same. It's inbound integration. We can create by using any of the source system to Fusion application. And you may get an idea, one idea is you may get some kind of doubts here. Says that when you create a or import invoice, import suppliers from the third party application to Fusion application, right? So how these two systems will interact? Let's say example, when I create a supplier by using my integration, at the time, the same information will be available in the Fusion. If at all, let's say example, after 1 or 2 months later, the business income says that this specific customer or supplier does not exist on of the site. Example, ABC vendor. This vendor has the more than 5, let's say example, 5 sites in the application. So one of the site, they said that like this is inactive now. So we need to go inactive. So in this case, if you go and make it as inactive in the Fusion application, how these changes will replicate into your source application also. That is the integration, right? So it will talk each other. The two systems will talk through the integration. Automatically, there is a sync program will go and make an update in the your source application as well as based on the your logic what we build in the during implementation phase. Similarly, customers also. This is one of the most important point which we need to understand when you start working on the Oracle financials. So just keep in mind inbound, and inbound is the one of the key integration while create invoices or customer creations or supplier creations as well as. Okay, and payments, while we make a payments, we need to understand 2 points here. So as I mentioned, the previous video also says that single payment and batch payment. And similarly, we can see in the receivable side, single collection. I mean to say, you can go and create a by using user interface single receipts also. And apart from that, we can use Autolockbox. Autolockbox. Correction. Autolockbox. Right. So here, what is the difference between batch payment and how do you understand Autolockbox? So these are the two powerful tools in the Oracle which we have received from the point of the implementation. So when you say payments through batch payment in the accounts payable, here what are the material or goods we have received from the suppliers, against that we can create a invoice and we can make a payment to them, right? So similarly, here the client is, let's say example, client is Flipkart. Whenever you selling our goods to customers, it will generate a revenue, right? So when you generate a revenue, against revenue, each customer should pay the collection to us. In the sense, Flipkart supposed to receive the money from the customers against each order, right? So when you say here batch payment, here Autolockbox, how these two things will interact? It's not interact. It's kind of like how it is going to perform in the application. When you run the batch payment, what we will do? We will create bulk payments to the suppliers and we'll send back to, I mean to say, we'll generate a payment file and place it to the source, I mean to say like a source target system application and transfer to, I mean to say transmission to target system. And here also similarly, the bank will send, it's a vice versa of the payments. The bank will generate a file, it's nothing but it's a flat file, and the specific flat file which the Oracle will support to import that file. Bank will take the file daily collections, how much we collect from the each customers against transactions what we made, right? And then bank will send the file to our target location. So that is nothing but we called as a Autolockbox. Autolockbox will represent about that how we can create a bulkly the receipts in the application by using collection file. It's nothing but as a flat file which we receive from the bank, isn't it? So here, the payment side, we are sending the payment details which we make a payment to the suppliers, that we are sending back to bank to make a payment to the respective suppliers. And another way, we are receiving the collection from the customers against our transactions which we have created in the application, and that is coming from the bank in the format says that it's a flat file, text file, whatever it is, SAC format, that we can call as Oracle has given the tool called as a Autolockbox tool, where we can create bulkly in the Fusion application by using the Autolockbox format. So that is one of the greatest and very good advantages which Oracle has given to us. So just make it very clear on this one. These are the two powerful tools, batch payment and Autolockbox. Autolockbox is a very, very simple configurations we can see in the Fusion application. It's not a simple in the sense, it is very easy to understand the flow, how it will generate file from the bank and send to our target application. From there, the integration will triggered and then automatically integration will send the files to your interface table, base table. But what else you need to understand here? How differently these two are working in the Fusion application. That's all, nothing else to worry here, right? And payment is same, create accounting and final and draft version. Similarly here, the Fusion receivable application, final and draft, and reconciliation. The reconciliation we can see here, both the things will interact with the CE. It's nothing but as a cash management. So here, these two payments and collections together will record under the your cash management only. So here payments, here collections. At the end of the day, the business users can run the auto reconciliation or manual reconciliation, and they can create, I mean to say, they can do the reconciliation and validate it, and they can perform the all the activities in the Fusion application under the cash management area. So this is how we can compare the Fusion application for accounts payable and then accounts receivable, right? And move on to just I want to give more information on that. PPR versus Autolockbox. Here I can see payments, collections, the tool name called as a PPR. Here is Autolockbox. Here is outbound, it is inbound. That is the difference. When you make a payment to your suppliers, it would called as a outbound. When you receive the file from the collections, I mean bank, that would be called as a inbound file. It would be in the format that file, text file. Same, both are same. And here we can talk as a supplier, supplier number, and invoice number, invoice date, and invoice amount, date, and bank details, etc. And here the Autolog box. When you receive the file from the Autolog, I mean to say bank, we can see customer name and customer number and receipt number, receipt date, and receipt amount and reference number. This reference number always will talk about the your transaction number. Let's example, when the customer is make a payment against this transaction, which is nothing but as a transaction number 123. So this 123 reference number will be populated to the bank while they send the flat file. So when you import receipts by using this flat file in the Fusion application, then the system can understand which this transaction number is already exist in the application. Based on our configurations, the system automatically will create a receipt, and then try to apply the receipt on this particular transaction number, which we have given as a reference number in the Autolockbox file. So that is how the system will works in the Fusion application, right? Here you can see. So this is the comparison between these two tools. One is PPR, secondly is a Autolockbox, which comes under the receivable application, right? And flow. As I mentioned already, we discussed, but this is the flow of the both of them. Says that run the PPR batch, auto generate payment file, place file into specific directory, customer, I mean to say the client FTP server, and send a payment file to bank by a pass admin. So pass, you guys aware of it? SAS, PASS, IS, right? So without PASS, it could be very difficult to send the bank files to the respective directory. And here, when you talk about the accounts receivables and Autolockbox file, so what bank will do? Bank will send the file in the format of the flat file, place into FTP server, and move into the staging tables, and trigger integration is a OAC application, and do the validation and transmission to your UCM server. And before that, it will create GIF file in the format ABD template, load into UCM server, and then trigger ESS job, and finally it will run the import program and send to your interface table. Finally, transfer the data to base table. So this is the process flow which will be happen on daily basis. So you may ask the question here, how is something get failed out? So what are the troubleshoot? I will take it up. So when you see some kind of any challenges or the integration is not working as we expected, in this case, what we supposed to do it. So that's where we need to check technical and functional is the specifically we have the two teams, right? Functional team. So tech team will perform all the activities what we comes under the technically is says that integration kind of activities, and functionally what we can do, we can go and validate the file, which file they uploaded on daily basis, Let's say example 24th. 24th data you will be uploading in the fast in the application by today, isn't it? So when you try to upload by using this process, something went wrong. Let's say example Autolockbox. The transmission batch count is not matching with the normally what we have. In this case, in the application, the Fusion application, when you log into the Fusion Receivable application, in the left-hand side, we can see there is a info tile called as a import exceptions, right? So from there, we can go and look at the data and validate it. Let me get into application. I'll show one sample how we can go and look at the information in the Fusion application. Let's go to the Fusion application here. Sorry, here the receivables under the accounts receivable area. Yeah, here you can see log bus exceptions, right? If we see this info tile in the left-hand side under the receipt batches, if something is pending here, it means that there was some issue in the what we imported the Fusion application. Then you can go here, click on that. You can go and see that wherever you can see where you go and place your cursor. If the underline is coming up, that means there is a hyperlink is available to drill down further issue. So if you go and click on it, it will download as ADA template, which we can say as interface error tables. If you go and look at that, you may understand what was the issue and then correct it. And again, we can try to import from our end. That is how we have to do the troubleshoot. Similarly, when you comes supplier payments, let's say example, when you make a payment, I mean to say when you run the PPR batch, payment got completed successfully and payment file got generated, but there was a connectivity issue. What is that? Connectivity issue. If there is some connectivity issue, so maybe there could be possibility at the time of transmission file to your layer, next layer in the sense, FTP server, there was some connectivity issue. So that time the file will not place into the, as we expected, the target application. That time you should go and talk to your pass admin team who is handling that area, and you should go and tell them this is the payment file which got generated after we complete the process. This file is not yet been transferred to the respective specific area, and then they will do the troubleshoot from there and identify the issue. That could be reason is that only time issue or connectivity issue, and then again we can go and place the file manually, and then it will take the place automatically the system and send the file to bank. So these questions may ask that during interview also. You could able to tell this process way, how to troubleshoot it, what are the critical issues you worked on it. So these are the what we discussed so far. This is completely very high level information, which the layman can understand this all the process areas. If could have 2 to 3 years or 4 to 5 years experience, those IT professionals can able to pick it up this all the information what you discussed. And also this is one of the things that just I want to communicate our IT professionals where it may be useful for them, right? Yeah. So just yeah, that's what just I want to communicate today discussion. This is a very high level by comparing the accounts payables versus accounts receivables. Thanks for watching my video. Please do subscribe and like it and share your friends, all the IT professionals who has working on this in the specific areas so that they may get very good understanding, or like it may help for them to understand the basic levels and the high level as well as which could they lead their careers, the initial stage where they're working on it. So it may one of the thought from my side to give some kind of information which I know it. Yeah. If you have any things, please you can comment on the comment section so that we'll take it as a consideration. Thanks for once again watching my video, and we'll catch up next further videos. Thank you.